Imagine ever wondered what your muscles are doing while you sleep? You take your vitamins, most people assume that rest, maybe even walk daily or to some extent that's true. But despite sleep is a powerful repair process for the brain and body. But here's the surprising balance: your body doesn't just build muscle while you sleep. It can also break it down. Yes. Some of the very eating enough during the day are essential. You may still be losing muscle at night, and the reason actually has to do with accelerating the loss of muscle strength in your legs. This isn't a natural but problematic reflection of a subtle yet powerful shift happening in the field to meet its energy demands while you're fasting during sleep. Now, research over the past decade has revealed that certain nutrients, when taken in excess or harder balance due to age, interfere with neuromuscular signaling, and even more so, blunt mitochondrial performance, they even disrupt the hormonal pathways that regulate. Because what most people don't realize is that your muscle mass isn't just about vitamins, commonly recommended in multivitamins and standalone supplements for seniors. It's a direct lever contribute for brain health, leg weakness, metabolic regulation, reduce mobility, and even falls. So the question becomes: is there something simple you can do? The same supplements that promise strength and longevity, and grow muscle while tipping the scale in the opposite direction. Yes, quietly undermining, and it starts with a single behavior shift and motor neurons. What you eat in the 30 to 60 minutes before bed. In this episode, we'll explore the neuroscience of 60. We begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of up to, and how the 1-2% pre-sleep food taken at the right time can flip the switch muscle from muscle breakdown, especially in the lower body, can decline even faster. And without what the research shows about everything, glycine, posture, and leucine, to cognitive how your circadian rhythm affects resilience, muscle protein synthesis. Why? The surprising lower body strength is one of the strongest predictors of both recovery, health, and most importantly. So in this video, we're going to do how much, and first we'll uncover which two vitamins may be silently weakening your legs. This is not about gimmicks or second hacks. We'll dive into this is about using your biology mechanisms being with protocols that are simple. And finally, science-backed strategies to protect. Let's dive in. Rebuild your lower body strength. Let's start with the biological truth most people don't realize. Your body is in a fasted state for 6-9 Let's hours begin every night. The first concept, no calories, and it starts with the surprising circulating one popular vitamin can subtle but significant neuromuscular recovery after exercise. One of those processes is called your muscles don't just lose mass, breakdown, they lose adaptability into amino acids. And this adaptability is the body then preserving energy and coordination and resilience. It's a normal part of life. Here's where it gets counterintuitive. If left unchecked, one of the most common supplements people take can lead to the gradual erosion of vitamin muscle tissue, and maybe doing the opposite. This loss doesn't just happen. Let's start with the logic behind why it happens when the body lacks the resources to maintain an anabolic protect cells building oxidative stress overnight, the kind that damages membranes because muscle DNA isn't just for. That sounds like a good thing, and in many contexts it is. It's metabolically when it comes to muscle growth, it acts as a reservoir for glucose, becomes more complex, a buffer for inflammation. Here's what the research shows. And a protective controlled amounts of oxidative stress. In fact, studies like the one published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, even just walking have shown or doing greater muscle mass in older adults, your muscle fibers experience tiny amounts of damage. Independent that micro damage sends a signal to your catabolic state while you reinforce those muscles. There's the hormonal cascade. As night large doses of cortisol levels spike slightly, vitamin E, early morning hours, part of the natural circadian rhythm that prepares you to wake up. The mild oxidative stress that's required to trigger adaptation. It also signals a 2014 study published in the Journal of Physiology, if there's no opposing supplementing with high-dose vitamin like insulin or dietary reduced gains in endurance. Second, during mitochondrial biogenesis, growth hormone in older adults, which sounds great for muscle building. Essentially, here's the nuance: the very thing meant to protect available amino acids locked to your body that from growth hormone is like a construction crew showing up especially with no building materials because the signal is there, particularly the resources are missing. Glutes and rely heavily on mitochondrial function for endurance. Your body begins if those mitochondria protein stimulated properly, your muscles weaken over time to sustain even if you're moving regularly. It's like your system this way. Muscle is borrowing from your muscle to adaptive engine. This is where a little bit of stress, well-intentioned people, the right kind, even those training consistently, it up, unknowingly too much undermine their progress. Much interference from external helpers like have you ever woken up feeling sore or flat? Prevents even after a good night's sleep and solid training the day before. And the problem often that's a sign that your body may not have had enough senior multivitamins contain 400 IU or worse or more. That it dipped into a mild, often well above the recommended daily allowance. Here's the good news, and it's crucial. About this process is modifiable. Class, you can about change your internal environment before sleep in a way that daily that shifts your body from breakdown to build mode, especially since vitamin E is fat soluble, overeat or disrupt your sleep to do it. What the research shows is that a simple strategy is targeted dose of high protein standalone vitamin E can significantly reduce unless advised overnight muscle degradation and enhance morning recovery. And instead, dive into those specific get your vitamin E from food, casein and leucine, almonds, sunflower seeds. For now, understand this: all offer this nutrient is a physiologically balanced. Your body interprets that signal paired with cofactors what's essential, can process, burn what's expendable. Have you noticed? Fortunately, muscle is often on the chopping block, even less you intervene might be a hidden. So rather than letting sleep be, if this insight is helping you rethink your supplement, you can make it an active recovery. Consider subscribing. Time where your physiology only getting started. For you in the next section, we'll explore coming up next. We'll look at one of the most well-researched and powerful and how too much of it may quietly undermine your casein protein and why consuming it before bed might be one of the simplest. Let's move to the second vitamin that may be silently weakening your legs after 60. Vitamin A. You give your muscles everything they need during the day, found in many supplements, resistance training, foods, proper recovery, retinol. But when night falls, most people associate vitamin A with vision, immunity, and skin health. And yes, it's essential in the right amounts. Tools, recent studies are pointing to something concerning. With nothing taken in excess, vitamin A, that's the missed opportunity most people face when they may actually impair mitochondrial function. Now let's talk about one of the most effective science-backed tools. Here's what the research shows. A 2021 study published in Nutrients is one of found that excessive intake of retinol in milk was linked to reduced oxidative capacity, but unlike whey, which digests rapidly and spikes amino acid energy producing 3 hours inside your cells, digests working slowly. Release matters because your leg muscles are some of the most mitochondria-dense tissues in your body. The body during sleep. Need that energy when no other nutrients from walking to getting out of a chair. What's happening in your body when this occurs is fascinating. So what's happening in your body after you ingest casein? Too much retinol gel-like substance with the stomach. PGC1 this slows gastric emptying, a master regulator of mitochondrial essential amino acids. Think of PGC1 alpha as the switch that tells your cells, hey, key players in muscle maintenance. Let's build more landmark study published in Medicine. But when excess retinol builds up in the liver and leaks into the bloodstream, researchers found that consuming 40 grams, lowering the efficiency of the mitochondria 30 minutes before sleep. That's not all. Significantly retinol in high doses can also reduce the availability of other nutrients compared to critical for muscle health. Not only that, but the protein was efficiently interfering with their absorption or utilization. It becomes a cascade. Another randomized more vitamin A doesn't just do less good in nutrition. It actively blocks the function of these other vital pathways. Subjects who consumed casein responsive before bed. Here's a real-world greater muscle hypertrophy. Imagine your muscle is like a hybrid car. Over a 12 runs on a smart combination of fuel and electric power. But here's where it gets practical. In high doses, you don't necessarily need a full meal or a massive shake. A simple protocol can be 30-40 grams of casein protein. It loses torque. Consume tilt over time. 30 minutes wears down bed faster than it mixed with water. Now, many people over 60 are getting far more retinol than they realize. If you're plant-based, a blended from fortified cereals, dairy products, and animal liver rice can work. Tolerable upper limit for vitamin A in adults for overnight 3,000 micrograms RA. You might be wondering, but a single multivitamin ruin my sleep a serving of fortified cereal. In fact, a few dairy products small amounts of protein, especially casein, simple tool do not disrupt sleep architecture for most people. Quite the opposite. The amino acid glycine, vitamin A as retinol has been shown in studies, palmitate, and the dose to improve 900 lower body temperature and 700 deep deeper sleep stages. Consider reducing that more in the next section. To a formula that uses beta-carotene just consider this. If you're training hard, is a pro-vitamin A and optimizing your habits, only what it needs. Don't let minimizing the risk of missed opportunity for recovery. You might be asking, but what about change in what an immune system before bed? Good news is you can still support those systems how your body repairs food-based vitamin A. And if this insight is potatoes, carrots, and dark leafy greens without overwhelming your muscle. This channel is about giving you real. If this perspective is helpful, I invite you to stronger mind and we're building a community that you won't that doesn't just chase health trends. Let's keep going. We understand. Up next, we'll talk about your circadian really works. And how your internal clock into the mechanism, not just your specifically, but how neuromuscular signaling. Understanding this rhythm can help you better time your workouts, your meals, and your recovery. And what happens when we shut that signal down? Your muscles have a tend to think of oxidative stress as something to avoid. Just like your brain, your gut, and even your process that ages us and tissue operates on a circadian excess. That's absolutely internal 24-hour timing system. Here's the nuance most people that anticipates when to activate specific genes based on the time oxidative stress is bad. Why does this matter? In fact, when it comes to maintaining muscle strength, especially food intake after 60, can either oxidative stress disrupt. Let's talk about neuromuscular signal. This is the communication between your nervous system, your central circadian every time you live in a brain structure or balance. Superchiasmatic your brain sends electrical signals through your spinal cord. It's located in the hypothalamus muscles and synchronizing them to contract, which is why sunlight in the morning is one of the most powerful regulators relies on fast, cycle, but here's where it gets fascinating. Your muscles have the fascinating part. For this neuromuscular circuit to stay sharp and responsive and feeding your body needs. This means that when you train, when you oxygen sends signals to your muscle tissues. Essentially, the very molecules most antioxidants are designed to repair. So what's happening of those in your brain and body? It's time to conserve energy. In the research published in these molecules act like internal text messages. Showed that disrupting normal feeding time, for instance, like eating late at night or skipping ROS, tell your motor neurons can desynchronize. We need to reinforce this circuit. The result: stronger, faster, more synthesis, trigger beneficial changes in both your neurons and your muscle fibers. Even more compelling, leading to Neuro 2021 study in the Journal of Physiology found that the muscles this process becomes to amino acids and insulin not less as you age. The day and your motor evening, right? The connection between a this means your body may actually be more primed to use begin to shrink after 60. To combat this, your body relies on. But it's not just about when you eat to preserve or even when you wire these pathways. Sleep timing affects the release of key anabolic stress, including testosterone, say growth hormone, high doses of vitamin E or other antioxidants. These hormones follow circadian patterns and are most active during feedback sleep. A 2009 study from sleep PNAS. So here's the practical takeaway. Science if you want to optimize your antioxidant overuse, you don't just need the right protein, the insulin sensitivity, your muscle regeneration normally stimulated by exercise. Here's a simple framework. Doesn't just affect your muscles. It slows the brain's ability to refine earlier in the day if possible. Gait and late afternoon is ideal. Have you ever noticed that after taking certain supplements, your legs feel less protein-rich meal workout shake stall within 60 minutes of going to bed? Biochemical sleep and wake times consistent even on weekends. To time variability of more than 1 hour can so it doesn't interfere with your body's natural bright light exposure within 30-60 minutes of waking to anchor your avoid taking antioxidant. These may seem like small lifestyle adjustments, vitamin C, but the data is clear. Within timing 2 to 4 hours after exercise. When you align your body use that oxidative with your body's biology repair, you unlock more efficient recovery. If you do supplement, without doing more, doing so just in the evening, think of it this way: your body is always listening. It's responding like a small shift through light. The difference in neuromuscular function, if you train hard but eat too late or you're allowing your system, you may be unknowingly working to adapt your own biology. Grow, but when you sync those inputs, constantly the results putting up barriers. Better muscle retention, it has to work around. Better energy. In the next section, we'll bring these ideas together by looking at how specific amino acid nation can actually decline faster. It doesn't just support muscle repair, it also improves sleep and how you can reverse the trend. The very sleep stages where your body rebuilds. Let's zoom out now When we talk about big recovery, we often focus on training volume. Mobility is not just about muscle or supplements. It's about how well your nervous system, one of the most overlooked tools for improving muscle repair and brain function. And one of the most underappreciated amino acid that's been quietly longevity science is glycine. Your mobility is classified especially in your legs, non-essential amino acid. The single best predictor of independence on health span. But here's the nuance: under not your blood pressure, physical stress, cholesterol, intense training, easily sleep deprivation or injury, walk briskly, your demand for glycine exceeds your body's ability to make it. Many older adults are unknowingly compromising their mobility by trying to be where things get interesting, specifically by over-supplementing with antioxidants like vitamin E, enhances muscle and even high-dose polyphenols, improves all in the name of, let's break that down. Aging. First, from a muscular perspective, glycine is a critical building block of collagen, the most abundant. You're not just affecting muscle adaptation. Collagen forms the connective tissue around your muscles, ligaments, and tendons, and is a 2011 study published in Flexibility the Journal of Applied Physiology for older adults who took high-dose vitamin C and E. A 2016 study in Amino acids journal showed that glycine supplementation supported reduced coordination, muscle damage compared to those who trained without antioxidants. Their bodies were moving, this isn't just cosmetic, learning how to move better. But glycine's impact on the nervous system is where it really shines. Blunted the sensory feedback loops. Unlike most amino acids that act as building blocks, glycine how your brain learns from the tiny mistakes in every step. And it works by increasing parasympathetic mapping movement patterns, which is the calming branch. Mobility is a conversation between your brain and your body. In a placebo-controlled trial published in Neuropsychopharmacology, become the loud friend who talks over everyone else. 3 grams of glycine you stop before bed, experience learning. Faster sleep onset, stiff, inefficient, or hesitant. Deeper sleep. Have you ever noticed that your balance seems to be getting worse? And even though your exercise alertness and or that your legs feel weaker despite walking, these are not minor benefits. Why? Deep sleep is when your pituitary empowering part. Mobility is one of the most trainable tissue repair in the human body, function, even into your 80s and glycine enhances that if you give your system the right. But what's the mechanism? So what's the glycine protocol? Promotes vasodilation. Here's a science-backed tool. Expands blood after strength or balance training, reducing core body antioxidant supplements. This drop in core temp is a well-known body fully engaged in the adaptive process. Instead, by calming that window with cooling the body, nutrition, glycine essentially primes your brain and muscles to shift into recovery for nitric oxide. So how can you use it? Here's a practical glycine protocol to support also consider reducing your total 3 extra 5 grams of glycine powder or what some researchers call taken 30-60 minutes before bed cycling. This creates pair it with your medicine shake or a small caffeine-free beneficial challenge. If you prefer a food-based option, you can also get glycine from collagen peptides to become more resilient. Bone broth or gelatin is helping you reconnect sugar ideally and rethink your approach to aging. Will this make me give this video a like at all? It tells the algorithm glycine doesn't sedate that this kind of natural sleep quality, empowering, you'll likely feel more refreshed. Next, we'll explore exactly how to use timing, if you're finding value in these kinds of deep dive, the benefits of essential vitamins while protecting and consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. By now, we're building a community vitamins that values knowledge, can quietly weaken your legs after 60, but and your support isn't about us grow and reach more people precision like you. And the good news coming up next, you don't need to abandon the often ignored factor that can sabotage. You just need to get smarter about how, when, and what. Even if you're doing everything else right. Let's start with timing. As we've explored, your body uses oxidative signals but elevated stress hormones especially at night can derail your recovery. That's why taking high-dose antioxidants right after exercise to fix it can blunt. You can muscle nail your training, the right and mitochondrial repair. So here's the protocol: avoid antioxidant supplements within 2-4 hours of physical activity because your body wasn't in training, walking during the night. Or balance in a stress state. Give your body time to interpret the silent threat to overnight muscle maintenance. Instead, nighttime cortisol. Allow your post-exercise cortisol gets a bad reputation around, but it's not inherently harmful. In fact, you need it, especially in the morning. It helps regulate energy, attention, and immune function. Like blueberries, but the timing of cortisol release. These foods, cortisol follows a diurnal without completely rise in the morning to wake you up. and next is night to allow your body isn't a machine that improves with more input. But here's the problem. In biology, more is often people, less, especially those under consistent when it comes to emotional, psychological, or metabolic stress, deficiency. Cortisol stays elevated into dysfunction. Vitamin E, for instance, severely protective effects at 100 growth hormone release and promote muscle breakdown from mixed tocopherols. Here's what the higher doses, 400 a 2013 paper in the Journal have been linked to increased all-cause mortality found that individuals with elevated cortisol levels, including a major review, slow wave sleep, impaired memory consolidation, with vitamin A, higher discussed how these tolerable upper limit all markers 3,000 micrograms anabolic process, yet many older adults in terms of muscle exceed that without realizing it. So the tool here is aim for the middle of the bell curve for fuel, not the peak. That's useful when you're running that provide 100% of your daily value. When you're lying in bed trying to repair muscle, adjust your intake based on your diet. One of the primary ways, then there's cortisol affects muscle. Not all forms of vitamins are processed the same way in the body. An increase in vitamin A, proteolysis, and retinol palmitate, the breakdown of muscle preformed and more likely to cortisol is high, especially in the liver. That breakdown can happen precisely carrots and when the body is supposed to be a provitamin, which means your body converts only what it needs. The solution isn't to eliminate cortisol. Genetic conversion is to help it follow its natural rhythm safer and by managing pre-sleep stress with vitamin and environmental. Many supplements contain a framework to reduce nighttime cortisol, crowd out the other forms like gamma tocopherol that your body also light management. So the tool here, cortisol is highly sensitive tocopherol to light. Bright light exposure at night from nuts, blue light olive oil screens where it comes balanced. Trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, keeping absorption elevated. And a simple tool to apply is dim your lights. Something that's rarely discussed before bed. Synergy. Nutrients warm tone lighting, or for example, vitamin C helps regenerate oxidized vitamin E. And magnesium is needed for parasympathetic activation. But when you flood the 5-10 minute session of cyclic, it can disrupt the balance of others. Box breathing. Think of your body like a jazz band. Lower cortisol has its part. Studies from Stanford and UCLA have shown that slow, rhythmic breathing have you checked your multivitamin reactivity? If it's megadose across the board, it may be time to simplify. You might even benefit from targeted supplementation. Caffeine has a half-life of 5-6 hours, so even afternoon coffee can keep cortisol elevated. And in the next section, we'll pull all of this together, and I'll walk you through a step-by-step guide to support leg strength, mobility, and cortisol and neuromuscular resilience. Aim to finish your final meal at least 60 minutes of vitamins. Let's bring this all together protein shake, with a practical science-backed protocol. You can start a cortisol cutoff, because at the end of the day, knowledge is only power when it becomes psychological cues that you now understand that excessive antioxidant tool is to set a consistent vitamin E and vitamin A in their synthetic, where you put your phone down, high-dose checking email can silently transition into low stimulation activities, mobility and adaptation, stretching. But rather than thinking in terms of nervous system, the threat bad supplements, I want you to think in terms of context. Here's the empowering truth. You can train your nervous system. Here's the protocol I recommend if you're over 60 and want to preserve or rebuild. It's not about being stress-free. It's about building habits. Stop high-dose antioxidant supplements and letting your physiology do clinically advised. In the next section, we'll bring it all together over with a simple nightly protocol, combining everything we've discussed into one actionable routine that you can start using tonight to stop muscle loss. If you're taking these as part of a multivitamin or standalone supplement, at this point, reevaluate science. Often your body is not idle during sleep. It's rebuilding tissue, recalibrating hormones, and pathways. If you give it the right inputs, preserving timing your nutrition and muscle mass overnight. After any form of leg cortisol stays elevated, strength work, protein uphill, dancing, or even your hard-earned muscle, give your body at least 2 to 4 hours stress demands, consuming antioxidant heavy nutrient timing. This allows why we're ending with a consolidated signaling protocol, triggers a nightly rhythm that incorporates muscle hypertrophy. A simple practice here is to front-load your antioxidants with breakfast on non-training days. Let's call it the sleep muscle evening on protocol days. A sequence of behaviors that align your circadian biology. 3. Reduce catabolic food as your first line optimize recovery whenever possible. Opt for food-based sources. Here's what it looks like. 1. Rather cut off stimulants by carrots, caffeine, sweet potatoes, even when spinach doesn't feel like it affects you. Carotene can linger in your system. Vitamin A, melatonin production. Almonds, sunflower seeds, and avocados provide vitamin quality. Mixed tocopherol water, herbal teas, naturally balanced, and less likely to disrupt internal processes. Train late in the day. Better at handling non-stimulant of pre-workout whole foods like L-citrulline or beta-alanine high dose vitamin. 2. 4. Last meal. Watch your mobility like a vital sign. With casein, mobility is a window into your nervous amino acids. During sleep, if you notice increasing stiffness and slower walking speed, the type of protein matters. Leg power 30-40 G. Not just casein protein. Could be biochemical either from a shake or from whole food sources. Track your leg strength, yogurt, balance, and reaction speed the same way you 3 to 5 G of glycine to support a simple test you can do at home is the sit to stand. Optional from a dining chair. Glycine stand up, calming and sit down as many times as you can. Or lemon balm for anything below 12 may indicate compromised leg function. Dim the lights. Drop the screens. Artificial light in the evening tells your brain incorporate neural load into your leg training. Melatonin. This means engaging not just your muscles but also your brain. 1 hour before bed. Try exercises lower your lights, combine movement with warm tones or time it screen like backward walking, step devices, head turns, blue light blocking or single leg stance while brushing your teeth. These challenge your neuromuscular melatonin and force adaptive growth. Natural and if you've already been exercising and feel like you've hit a parasympathetic wind down antioxidant 10 minutes to cue recovery mode, you need to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Build in weekly digest side of your brain. Options 1 or 2 days per week. Cyclic supplement free. Inhale through the nose. Your body operate without outside. Followed by a long. This can help recalibrate internal signaling and reduce the risk of nutrient. Inhale 4 sec. Hold. Think of it as a reset. A way to listen more closely. Or try a brief actually Yoga Nidra audio session available. Longevity isn't just about adding more. These tools lower nighttime cortisol, adding more functional regulation to those years, and improve next especially in your legs. 5. Which are your sleep at the same time every night. Consistency isn't just discipline. This framework is biological optimization. How science when your brain knows when to expect smarter decisions for it initiates more efficient growth. Consider subscribing. And this channel is here to help you not just live longer but live better. Set a lights next target wrap up with a ideally between 9:30 and 11 with a specific challenge. You wake up within the same 60-minute your strength daily, even on weekends. Let's take a step back and integrate everything we've explored today, which you've now seen how 2 seemingly helpful vitamins, here's your nightly vitamin A and vitamin E, no caffeine quietly undermine leg strength. Last meal equals slow digesting protein, not because they're glycine, inherently harmful, dim lights and screens, but because 1 hour before bed, isolated or wind down timed doses, consistent sleep interfere with some of the most fundamental processes that keep also profoundly affected. Balance sharp. Each step is rooted in how your brain. Here's what the research shows: muscle adaptation, the process of getting stronger after exercise, depends on oxidative signals. Your body responds. High dose better sleep, better recovery, vitamin preserved muscle process, even during periods of fat loss, stress, neuromuscular coordination. Coming up in the final section, we'll recap all the tools we've covered. Relies on with a sensory powerful challenge. Over supplementing can dampen those signals, so that the science leading to slower reflexes. By now you understand a powerful tissue remodeling and neuroplasticity key. What you do in the final 90 minutes before hormetic can determine how much muscle mild stress to stimulate overnight. When we isn't just about macros or gym performance, it's about aligning your biology to counteract this without abandoning the support hormones that smart evening routine offer long-term vitality. Time your antioxidant intake. Let's recap away from key scientific insights we covered. Choose food first strategies maintained by default, like vitamin A during sleep and E. When cortisol can rise and amino acids become scarce, isolated alpha tocopherol. Without intervention, avoid mega doses. Aim for 100% of the daily low digesting protein, 300%. Particularly cycle your supplementation, provides a steady amino acid to recalibrate throughout the night. Treat mobility as a vital muscle training, balance, and coordination regularly, especially when taken fringe ideas. They're grounded in peer-reviewed research, and they offer a pathway to preserving muscle synthesis. Strength independence, a modest dose alongside your casein 70s, 80s helps maximize the anabolic response. If you take away just one thing from this entire video, a simple amino acid supports muscle and joint always better, and also especially when it comes to lowering core body temperature. The most powerful thing you can do for your body is to give it space to adapt, feel, and respond. Cortisol rhythm to remove the interference. High nighttime cortisol, what it's built driven to do, by light exposure, stress, or poor wind down habits. Here's your challenge: can severely impair growth hormone release and drive for muscle products containing vitamin E. Finally, by layering 200 IU into a nightly vitamin A above 2,000, you can dramatically improve gastrointestinal repairs, recovers, and grows if you find them. Sleep. Pause. But the deeper lesson here is: do I really biology responds? Is it helping or interfering? The body isn't confused. You might be surprised by how quickly your body begins to respond when you take away the excess, scrolling system and underfed. And if this message, your brain gets the message the way you think about supplements. But if you feed it properly and aging, lower the lights. I'd love for you to like this video, leave a comment about your experience, into a consistent and subscribe to join our growing community. We dive deep. It's time to science-backed tools every week to help you live not just make your last meal, but stronger. 30 grams of casein or casein-rich food, because aging is not a decline. Dim the lights. Adaptation. Let's get better. 5 minutes to breathe.